Hey, this is Matthew Hutchison from your Regina Pats, and you're listening to Patscast.
Mays at the point. Hamilton at the left point. Below the goal line, McNutt jumps in front, shoots, stop, rebound, score! And the Regina Pats are off and running. Julian Mays with his 12th of the season. Serkan pushed off the puck just outside the line by Deschamps. And over the line, Chase Eglin for Regina. He shoots, scores! What a rocket by Chase Eglin! And Schultz at the red line from center, takes the puck in, and he'll go straight after it. Against Pantelis, finishes his check. Left wing side, Mathis Paul to the slot. Pugh shoots, scores! Welcome to the Brand Center, Liam Pugh. That's his first as a Pat on home ice. Right point, Matt Peranich for Regina. Fires, and it's blocked. Rebound in front, scores! Ruslan Karimov gets the Pats back on the board. Their third power play goal of the game. Through the middle comes Ruslan Karimov. Into the slot, dishes it to Mays, to Karimov, scores! What a bullet on a feed from Julian Mays. Big time goal from Ruslan Karimov, the Russian sniper. And that puck came in and out in a hurry. I didn't even know it went in at first. I just kind of reacted on Karimov's celebration. Karimov for Mays. He'll cut across the line, into the slot, down low for Peranich, he scores! Matty P, how do you do? Nice little pass right there by his close friend Julian Mays, and Peranich fires it off the post and in. Pass will try to get it down low. Backhanded in front by Lancer to stop. Rebound, scores! Ruslan Karimov centers it from in behind the net, and Zach Lancer deposits home. Puck is intercepted and brought out to center by Julian Mays for the empty net. He scores! Julian Mays puts this one away.
Welcome to Patscast, the unofficial Regina Pats podcast. It's episode 219. It's December 7th. It's Sunday night. Just watched a big win in Saskatoon. How are you doing tonight, Kevin?
A lot better after that game.
Yeah, compared to Friday.
May not have been the most pretty 4-0 shutout, but it was a shutout. Hutchison played great. The team rallied around Julian Mays, Ruslan Karimov, Matty P. Yeah, so it was nice to see the Pats actually pick up a W in Saskatoon.
It's been a few years. Dante mentioned on the broadcast it's like 22 since they won in Saskatoon.
It's been a couple years.
Yeah, Saskatoon's had some good teams lately, obviously, but yeah, no, it was good, and we hadn't seen them yet, so we didn't really know what to expect. But it was good, yeah, especially coming off the road trip, the rough road trip, and a rough game on Friday. It let it get out of hand at the end there. But yeah, like you said, it wasn't the prettiest game, but a win's a win. Shutout's a shutout. Like a shutout's nothing to sneeze at.
Shutout's awesome.
Yeah, Hutchison's first career shutout too. So
yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I didn't realize that, but I hadn't looked into his stats too much. We did just talk to him on Friday night after the game. Awesome. So obviously you see that, and the interview's coming up here later. So we'll run with that since he's the man of the hour. So, but yeah, it's go back to that Friday game, and
I don't wanna.
I know, right? Don't have to talk too much about it, but I thought maybe they'd get some guys back after the road trip. Obviously, the guys were hurt. No Brown, no Fawcett, no Klassen.
Still no Bridgie.
Obviously, no Bridgman and Tabashnik. But, I mean, they played pretty good for 2 periods. And Brad literally, he's like, yeah, we took that bad penalty at the end of the second, lost a power play going into the third, and then that just kind of started the snowball, and
it took him right off the tracks. It was
and then you get that, there's a bad pass on one, a giveaway, and then there's the bounce off the end boards. Like that just reminded me of the Edmonton goal early in the season off the skate. Like you just get a bad bounce, and then it was just there's just no coming back after that.
No,
unfortunately. So
Brandon can score goals. They got guys that can score, and they took advantage. And
Serkan had scored back-to-back hat tricks. Like, he scored again today, I believe. So,
they scored 4 goals in like 3.5 minutes, something like that.
Yeah, it
Other than that.
was
So
not pretty, right?
just like the game sheet's not pretty. It's so messed
Yeah,
up.
the game sheet is totally messed up.
But
Yeah, like Mr. Walker takes the hooking penalty at 19:17, and then you take a very undisciplined penalty at the 20-minute mark, and then
yeah.
you don't start the period on the power play in a 3-2
Yeah.
game. So, but oh well, it is what it is. It's the growing pains of this team, and it was just tough to see because they played a pretty good 40 minutes, I thought, right? Like you said,
Yeah. It was a good first half of the game. Good
yeah.
first, 2 periods.
Like you said, Brandon can score. We've seen some high scoring games with Brandon, and the Pats were with him, and yeah, just it kind of fell apart there, like I said, and yeah, it's unfortunate, but they didn't let
Had
it.
Brown and Fawcett and those guys been in the lineup, it might have been different.
Yeah, might have been.
Might have
But
been a little more disciplined.
that's that's the reality right now. Though you're playing without them, so you gotta figure it out.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah.
guys, like, but you look at Eglin scores. Man, that was a nice goal. Really
Nice
nice
shot.
goal. Yeah.
Very
And
nice
then
shot.
Pew picks up one, and then Karimov picks up one late, a little too late, but he gets one though, right?
Yeah.
So
For sure.
maybe that you know gives him some confidence. He's got a couple goals lately, and it rolls that into Sunday. But yeah, like yeah, it was just disappointing. Coming home, okay, it was the injuries are the injuries, and it was just like I said, it was just unfortunate. At least not one of them was back, right? It would have been nice to have one of them back, or whoever, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
But obviously they're still injured, and there's not much you can do about it. But yeah, it was a tough go there. But yeah, I don't know. Not too much to say about this game really at all. You got anything else you want to?
Jordan Gavin took his first penalty for Brandon in over 3
3
years.
years, yeah. So he's got 231 games played, 6 career penalty minutes.
One of them is a phantom call, and the other one he was serving a
apparently
delay of too many men on the
bench
ice or
minor,
something
yeah.
like that, I believe. So
Yeah. So like that's wild. Three penalties in 230 games, and yeah, 2 might not even be on him.
that's pretty
So
impressive.
yeah. You said to me, I was like, oh yeah, sweet power play, and you're like, Gavin took a penalty, and it didn't dawn on me at first. You're like, because we'd talked about this, I don't know, a couple months ago. We'd come across this stat, and it was just like, oh yeah, Gavin, yeah, whoa, what's going on here? So and
Yeah.
it's a like it's a
We sit beside the opposition play-by-play booth, and I looked over and I got Rob Mann's attention, and I'm like, Gavin, and he's like, first in 3 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's impressive. Like he's been around that many games, only taken 3 penalties.
Yeah.
That's wild. Some guys take 3 penalties in a week
Yeah, exactly. Or in a game
by accident.
Yeah, right. So yeah, that is wild. I think maybe we came across that last year the at the end of the year when we were doing our awards voting. I think maybe that's when
I
we
think
seen
so.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably when we came across it for most sportsmanlike conduct, or most sportsmanlike player, and we're like, this guy has 2 penalties, like that's wild. So yeah. Other than that, Schultz was back. Pew played again. I don't know. They looked pretty good out there. Had some chances. Schultz had a couple really good chances actually. Now I think about it.
Pew had a goal and assist.
Yeah, and yeah, he's starting to heat up. But he's like you said. We talked to him after the game, and yeah, he's played a few more games. He's getting into the swing of things. Went on the road trip and experienced that road trip. And he's finally, and he's 15, right? He's going to take some time to get comfortable in this league, right? So 15 games, and he's got 3 goals and 4 assists. Like it's not bad at all, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, other than that, I don't think I have too much else from that Brandon game.
Nope. It was just nice to be back in the rink.
Yeah, for sure. It's been a while.
And
So
it didn't smell like a barn like it normally
no, it
does. It
actually
did
didn't.
just a little aroma downstairs, but upstairs it just smelled like a hockey rink. It was like
Yeah, I didn't even
I was
notice it.
expecting it to reek
Yeah,
like it usually does.
yeah. Usually you really tell, but no,
Usually
I did.
smells for a month after
Yeah, I
or
didn't notice
more.
it at all. I kind of forgot about it that that had happened.
They must
But
have
yeah.
had some air fresheners to go on or something.
Put them right by the fans, so they just blow the. They got some little trees hanging, cart trees hanging by the fans.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so then Sunday they head up to Saskatoon. Like I said, haven't seen Saskatoon yet this season, and Saskatoon's doing pretty good. Like I said, they were 14, 12, and 2. They
They
did
had a really hot start, but they've really cooled down. I
okay.
think they were like 9-3 to start,
Yeah, they're 4 and
something like
6 now
that.
in their
So
past 10
yeah,
after the loss
they've
today.
cooled right off.
Um, I was gonna say, I think they did play Saturday night though, so that then the Pats did have Saturday night off, so that may have played into it. I don't know. Saskatoon was wearing some throwback jerseys with their faux Cooperall look bottoms. Kind of neat. They the the Cooperall look doesn't match the jersey, like you said. It's not the right.
But the the Cooperall look that they had matched the jersey, but it
Yeah,
wasn't the right era.
when they wore Cooperalls, they wore basically what they're wearing normally
Yeah.
because they've gone back to the 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 retro look,
Pac-Man logo.
the Pac-Man logo. So
Saskatoon hadn't played since Wednesday.
oh, okay, my bad. I thought for some reason they had no didn't. Oh yeah, they were off Friday because I was like, didn't every team play Friday? But no, Saskatoon was the one team
Yeah.
because one team does have to sit if everybody's playing now with
Yeah.
23. So but okay, okay, no, my bad
So
there.
everybody was equally rested.
Yeah. Well, they had quite a bit of rest actually. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, going to Saskatoon, yeah, they weren't too sure what to expect. Like I said, actually, yeah, you look at the standings; they're on a 5-game losing streak now. So that would have that would have made them 14-8, and now they've lost 5 in a row, so they're 14-13.
Yeah.
Um,
Which
so
I think
yeah,
when Dante interviewed Les Lazaruk, and he was saying that they started 9-3 on the season and they're whatever
okay,
since. So
yeah, so that'd be 5-10. Since but yeah, but either way, going up Saskatoon, like I said, getting a win. It wasn't the most prettiest game. I didn't really watch a ton of the first. I was listening to it more than watching it, but then I sat down and watched the second period, and I was like, oh, like halfway through the second period, I was like, yeah, this hasn't been a very exciting game. And then Dante made a comment, kind of something to the effect that the teams are basically they're playing pretty structured and they're not letting any opportunities go. But I mean, there was scoring chances both ways,
yeah,
but it
but it
wasn't
definitely wasn't run and gun or anything
like
like that, though.
Brandon, right? So
No.
not at all. But I mean, whatever. We'll take a win no matter how ugly it is, right?
I'm pretty sure whatever the coaching staff talked to them about on Friday and maybe worked with them on Saturday, they did on Sunday, or felt like they did on Sunday, because they there was no turnovers or very very few turnovers. They were crisp with their passes and everything. It was
Okay.
nice to watch.
Yeah, they only
So
took a couple panel. Well, they only had 2 penalty kills. There was a couple uh, um, coincidental penalties. Actually, I think it was yeah. There was one. Hunter Lang took a roughing penalty, then we took a roughing after. It looked like they were getting the only penalty, then there was some retaliation, and then they evened it up. So there was a little lack of discipline there. But
yeah, they killed all 4 power play or penalty kills they had. So
yeah, so yeah, and then they only had 2 power plays.
yeah,
But
but it was from what you can watch on the Victory Plus, it looked like it was a pretty clean game. There's hardly any extracurriculars or anything like that. So
yeah, nothing other than ordinary.
it's like they
there was
wanted to get the game over to watch some football.
yeah, there was a big save by Hutchison right at the end of the second period. There, that was kind of
Yeah.
a big save, and then one. It was going wide, but it hit Klassen's skate, I think, or Lansard's skate, and it kind of went back through the crease the other way. It was like, woof. That was real close, right after the Hutchison save at the end of the second. So that was two close calls right at the
Yeah.
end of the second, and so you go into
Yeah.
the third with the 2-0 lead, and then it's not till and then nothing happened until the 15-minute mark, and Lansard scores to make it 3-0, and then that's the game there, and then Mays seals it with the empty netter. But yeah, no, like I said, a win's a win. Played pretty good. It looked obviously better than the Brandon game, so that's nice. That
Not a win is a win. A shutout is a great win.
yeah,
Shutting
yeah,
out an opposition,
yeah. Anytime,
it's a good
yeah.
thing. You don't the Pats don't get tons of shutouts, so
No,
anytime there's a
over the past
shutout,
few years,
it's a good thing.
yeah. Um, and yeah, like I said, it was a lot cleaner, looked a lot better. So it's nice that they didn't let Friday night and the road trip. I mean, snowball. So we'll see how it goes into this coming week, um, but yeah, I mean, a win's a win. We'll take that all day long. Take a shutout. So, what else you got from this game?
Congrats to Matthew Hutchison getting his first career shutout, like you said. That's pretty awesome. 19 years old, finally getting your first shutout. That's pretty cool. Karimov probably played his best game as a Pat. He was forechecking, back checking, trying to hit. I enjoyed watching him play today. So
Yeah, and then he picked up another goal, right? So that's 2 goals in his last 2 games, and I think it's like 4 and 5. So
yeah, he had 3 points today.
yeah, 2 assists. So um, let's see, what's his game sheet or game log here? Yeah, 3 in the last 4. So and 4 in his last 7. So it's not bad. Like he had a goal early, second game, and then he went quite a few games without one, and then he's starting to come along
Starting to
here.
find his groove.
Yeah, right. It takes, he steps into a team that's, had already started playing. He missed camp, obviously, and just gets thrown in a lineup. But yeah, like this team needs all the scoring they can get, right? So, but you look at last year, they're doing a lot better than last year, aren't they, Kevin?
Oh yeah, the record is only a little bit better, but you can't really fault them on that, I guess, because that road trip was atrocious.
Yeah, like if they could have got a win or two in that road trip, would have made it a little more palatable, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, just looking at the stats, they've scored like 30 more goals at this point over last year.
Yeah, my spreadsheet just failed on me here. So after 29 games last year, they were 7-17, 3-2. And this year they're what? 10-16, 2-1.
Yeah, so 3 more
They
wins.
scored 73 goals last year at this point in the season.
Yeah, they've got 101
This year
now.
they're at 101.
Mm-hmm.
And they've allowed basically the exact same. They allowed 121. We have 118 against this year. So
yeah, so
it's goals against is basically the same. Goals for is like basically a full goal up.
Yeah,
and maybe that accounts for a couple of the wins.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, potentially, hopefully, maybe some more wins down the road. Because they only had 16 wins total last year. They have 10 already this year. So
yeah,
hopefully it keeps going up.
yeah, for sure. So, but yeah, I mean, like we said, it's looked better than last year, right? Just by looking at it. Yeah, the record is maybe only marginally better, but there's a lot more potential. And you won a game tonight without, again, Fawcett, Brown, Klassen. So
Basically, you're one of your top 2 lines.
Yeah, three out of your top 6, right?
And two guys that are top 4 or 5 in the league in goal scoring with 18.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
you're missing 36 goals with 2 guys. So
yeah,
and they were able to pull it off.
Yeah, they're tied for 5th in the league at 18.
Yeah, top 5 or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
The big news of the weekend though was Mr. Bear made his return to the lineup.
Yes, that was my next topic. So, yeah, it was good to see him back. And yeah, so he was out for quite a while, and obviously he had some serious health issues. So that's why he had to be out for quite a while. He talked about it to Dante, and they played that interview at the first intermission of the Brandon game. So we're gonna play that here, and he talks about it, and it's just nice to see him get back on the ice and such. We were gonna actually talk to him on Friday, but he was doing Autograph Alley, so he's gonna be one of our next guests and maybe even go if he wants, talk about a little more in depth and about his issue and yeah, kind of what he's had to do to get back on the ice here. So, but we'll play this Dante interview for you.
Welcome back to Bennett Dunlop 4, Regina Pats Hockey on 620 CKRM. I'm Dante DiCaria, pleased to be speaking with Regina Pats forward Connor Bear, who is back in the lineup for the Regina Pats for the first time since September 26th. Connor, I just wanted to talk about your perseverance and just all the work you put in to get back to this point. Who were some of the people that helped you out, and how hard did you work in order to get back from that illness?
Yeah, I mean, I had lots of support. Definitely the trainers helping me out and getting me to where I am. And just my parents definitely supporting me, and just all the coaching staff and helping me out to be where I am today.
So I know it wasn't public at the time, but you and I had a conversation off mic about, sharing, what you went through over the last couple of months and the difficulty mentally and physically behind this. So just explain, what you were sidelined with back in, early October, and just tell us a little bit about what happened.
Yeah, towards the start, right when started the season, or when the season started, I got COVID somehow, and my heart rate was higher than usual. So, and with my past history with my brother passing away, they decided to take some time and focus on my heart, since it affected my heart, and just took the month off. And then this November, just trained and worked out and skated to come back.
So just tell us about the process behind it. When did the doctors tell you that you were able to get back on the ice? And I guess when it first happened, were you somewhat worried if you were able to get back on the ice this year?
Yeah, it was pretty nerve-wracking to hear that, especially with happened a few years ago. But knowing that it all came back clear and all the tests that I did came back positive, so it was all good to hear. And yeah, it was a couple weeks ago they told me I was good to go, and just 2 more weeks and I was ready. Now I'm here.
So while you were sidelined with that illness and not being able to play hockey, given that it was, very scary, what were some of the things that you did off the ice? I kind of already know that answer, but just for the people listening to this interview, you tried to use your time pretty productively, right?
Yeah, this past month I've been going to Trevor and Shay's shooting facility, and also going to Peak there at the workout gym, and just skating as hard as I can and getting worked and coming back.
You were also taking some classes as well, right?
Yeah, piloting class that definitely is going good.
Is that because of Efren McNutt, or?
It's a coincidence, but I mean, I've always loved planes and they're pretty cool.
So are you going to continue to study potentially, piloting school while playing hockey, or is that something you're going to put on the back seat right now?
Definitely study and try to get my commercials just to have it, just in case, and maybe in the summertime, because my brother's also getting it as well.
Nice.
So I might do something with that and have some fun with it.
I know that tonight's going to be, a little bit nerve-wracking for yourself, given that you haven't played hockey for a while. Do you try to clear your head coming in, knowing what happened 2 months ago? How do you kind of go about your mental state right now?
Yeah, I mean, this past month I've been kind of nervous for this day to come, but I mean, as I come up to it now and today, I've been feeling really good and kind of pretty excited to come back.
Awesome stuff. Well, we're excited to see you in the lineup. Thanks for doing this, and good luck tonight.
Thank you.
So yeah, just nice to see him back on the ice, the first and foremost,
for sure.
right?
For sure.
And obviously the Pats have been down skaters, so that's a key point here where they need bodies, right? So,
And I bet you they're happy he's back, because they were down again on Sunday, because they went to 11-7. They called up Hanby, so
yeah,
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, there was no Schultz and Pugh. Schultz did play Pat C's today, so maybe he was scheduled to play Pat C's, but Pugh didn't play there, so maybe he got nicked up on Friday. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what happened there, but
yeah, no idea.
Way,
just randomly called up Hanby and he's playing, so
they needed him, right? Obviously,
they needed him for sure.
But yeah, just good to see Bear back healthy.
Oh yeah,
and back on the ice.
It'll take him a while to get back into game
speed.
Action.
Yeah, for sure.
He looked fine out there, but gotta give him a chance to get going again.
For sure. Yeah, Friday he didn't look too out of place at all. I didn't think you didn't really notice him being behind the pace or anything. So yeah, like you said, he's been skating for a while here. That's what he could do, and getting back into it. So, but yeah, hopefully we'll have him on sooner rather than later, and maybe talk a little bit more about it and what he wants to put out there. He can put out there. So
for sure.
Yeah, I guess we look at next week. Uh, we got Kelowna coming in on Saturday, Teddy Bear Toss.
Teddy bear toss.
So that's on Saturday night, 6
Make sure
p.m.
you have your teddy bears if you're going to the game.
Yeah, definitely. Um, yeah, and Kelowna, I mean, so much talk about Kelowna, right? They have not a great season last year and not looking like the best roster coming into this year. They really struggled off the start.
They acquired a defenseman that might have been damaged.
Yeah,
They
there's
got
lots of
another defenseman that had surgery. He's going to be out for weeks. It's like
yeah.
when it rains, it pours.
So they made a trade with Swift Current to get Peyton Kettles. I think we touched on it before,
Yeah, we did.
and
But
yeah,
yeah,
so he's out for the season, most likely, maybe back from Memorial Cup, um,
sounds
but
like
either
it.
way, they're picking up their pace. Aginla obviously didn't start the year there. He was in Utah, but he was the player of the month for November. I think he's got 13 goals in 15 games, and like
He's good.
he's real good, right? Um, he's got 13 goals, 14 assists on the season in 17 games. So 27 points in 17 games. That's not too bad after not even starting the
Yep.
season with the team, right? So, and then
Yeah.
they made another trade. They picked up Shane Smith out of Lethbridge. Was he in?
Yep.
Yeah, because he was in Medicine Hat before that. Then he went to
He was
Lethbridge last year.
Yep.
Yeah, so picked him up. So he's another kind of key guy. And then obviously the Kettle situation. See what happens there. Um, but yeah, they're really
They got a
coming
month
along.
to get their stuff together.
Yeah. So Kelowna, they're up to 13-9, 3-1. So that's not nothing to shake your head at, right? Like
No, they're not terrible, but they just gotta
no,
get everything settled because
yeah,
you're hosting the Memorial Cup. You should have a pretty good roster.
yeah, for sure.
Should. But
They're 6-3-1 in the last 10. So
yeah,
they're
they're
clear.
starting to turn it around.
Yeah, they do take a lot of penalties though. 411 pims.
Yeah.
That's like that's second in the league, only behind
I was gonna say
good old
second or
Seattle.
third, yeah.
Only behind good old Seattle. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so they're nothing to sneeze at coming in, and then it's a Wednesday, right, against PA.
Yep.
Yeah.
To
So we'll
close out the
probably
first unofficial first half.
So we're probably not going to do a show Sunday night like usual. We'll probably wait till after the Wednesday game to cover those two games, do an interview, have an interview for you guys, and then we'll do a kind of a first half pre-Christmas schedule show, most likely with Dante and Drew, and see if we can get all of us together and do a show. But yeah, I mean PA is pretty good, right? So
Oh, yeah.
that's going to be a tough game on that Wednesday 17th.
They just beat the Oil Kings 4-3 in overtime today.
Okay, yeah, there's the matchup of the top two teams in the conference. Edmonton's up to 6 losses, 1-1. PA's got 4 losses, 4 overtime losses as well. So
PA was 3 for 3 power play.
oh, okay.
Power play, goal, and overtime.
Oh yeah. But yeah, 4-3. Well, Edmonton was 1 for 4 on the power play. That's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they played last year in the playoffs, didn't they? In like the first round is a pretty good matchup, and now they might be playing in the third round this coming season.
The PA picked up McHaggerty from Wenatchee. He's got 3 goals in 3 games with them.
Oh geez. Yeah, he asked for a trade. So he's in a pretty good spot now. Nothing like from the bottom to the top. But yeah, PA, it seems like they can build pretty good. Like they don't make too many trades when they're going good, right? Like
Daxton Rudolph has 10 goals.
Wow, that's pretty good for a young defenseman.
Yeah.
Because he's 17?
He's an 08.
Yeah, 17. So
10 goals in 27 games.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Yes.
I remember the year that they won the league. Their only trade was Dante Hanoun, and he scored the game 7 overtime winner. Like that's like the only guy they picked up, and they they just built their team. They've been, they've had their ups and downs, but they've done really well the way they've built their teams over the last few years. Anything else you got for this week? We should get out of here. It's a long interview with Hutchison. We even had to cut the interview short.
Yeah,
People
Dante
wanted
told us
go
to. We still had another probably 20 minutes.
Yeah,
15,
so
20 minutes.
you could probably touch on what you talked to him prior to us recording, because I was still interviewing Pew, and we did get a late start because we had to wait. I mean, Coach probably had a lot to say after the game because we had to wait a while to get Coach and Pew, and so we started a little bit later, and then obviously people want to go home. So, and Hutchison was a really, really good interview.
Extremely good.
It's 45 minutes long, and like I said, we didn't touch on a few things that we wanted to. But it was really good. So, but yeah, touch on a couple things that you guys talked about that we didn't.
Oh, I just asked about his brown pads that he has, like the old school style pads. Apparently, they weren't supposed to be his. They were a set that his dad got. His dad has like a goalie website that he interviews goalies and stuff. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, he mentions it in the interview, but it was kind of, maybe if you didn't catch it first time, it's called In Goal Magazine. It's ingoalmag.com. So I had to kind of Google it a little bit because I didn't kind of catch him when I listened to it live. But if you're a goaltender, you go check that out. Like, he interviews current goalies. He's got tips and stuff for parents and players, and it's quite the website for a guy that didn't, like he says in the interview, didn't play much high level goaltending.
Yeah.
Hockey. So, but anyways, go ahead with the pad story there.
Oh no, it's just his pads. If you noticed his waffle blocker and like the old school brown pads, they weren't actually supposed to be his. They were his dad's friend's beer league pads or something. He got a set from. He gets like 2 sets a year or something like that from one of the distributors, and they weren't even supposed to be his pads, and they ended up being his pads. And his white pads that he has with the red trim are actually the Musto Warrior pads. So it's kind of neat. You can't really see it on the pictures, but there's like little skinny strips of black trim. Keith Hirschmiller pointed that out. There's little strips of black. And it was kind of a cool little chat before going on air. We were gonna get him to actually talk about them, but Dante told us to hurry up. So
yeah. And then he said his white ones weren't ready, but he was wearing white today. So I wonder if those are his new ones. It's tough to tell.
I think those were the ones that he was breaking in on. The last couple.
Yeah, he said they weren't quite ready, so maybe they were ready for Sunday, and they clearly worked for him. So
yeah, they did, definitely.
But yeah, we should get into this interview. It was a great interview, obviously 45 minutes long, and I mean, he's older. He's 19. That's why we kind of try to pick these older guys first and talk to them. His dad, other than the website, his dad actually does a podcast and stuff too. So he's probably sat with his dad and listened to him, and probably did podcasts with him. Like, I don't know if he's actually done episodes or not, but he's done podcast type stuff before. You can tell just by how he was talking with us. Yeah, and he's had quite the journey. Maybe, as he says, not the way you drew it up, but that's hockey. You never know what's going to happen, right? So but yeah, really good interview here. So pleased to welcome on Matthew Hutchison, the goaltender of your Regina Pats. Welcome, Matthew.
Thank you.
So, Matthew, where were you born and raised?
I was born in Victoria, BC. Originally lived in Mill Bay, Shawnigan area on the island, and then moved up to Nanaimo when I was 6 years old, I believe, and I've been there ever since.
So, family life growing up, you have any siblings?
Yeah, I got a sister who just graduated from UBC Okanagan out of human kinetics, so she's looking at careers in potentially being a chiropractor or osteopath or anything along those lines. So she's just breaking into that field. So it's pretty cool.
Oh, neat.
Was she into sports?
Yeah, she was a dancer and a volleyball player most of her life. So
growing up, was hockey the only sport you really focused on?
no, I've played everything. That was one of the big things my parents pushed, and what I wanted to do as well is play as many sports as you can for as long as you can. So still to this day, I play baseball in the summer, golf a ton. But growing up, I did everything from baseball, golf, volleyball, basketball, racing BMX bikes, basically anything I could get my hands on, I'd try out. Just love competition in any form. So, definitely a widespread range of sports.
Yeah, no, that's good, right? So, when did you start playing hockey? Timbits there?
About as early as I could stand. I think I was on skates for the first time when I was 2 years old, around Christmas time. On the island, there used to be a little rink kind of off to the side of one of the minor hockey rinks called a pond, and it was just pretty much a big circle of ice, and learned how to skate there. And my parents brought me there thinking I'd stay there for maybe 30 minutes or so, and apparently I was there for 4 or 5 hours is what I heard. So came kind of naturally to me. And my dad played hockey. He was a goalie all his life, and my mom's even played some beer league goalie as well. So it's kind of just where I was brought up, and been in love with it ever since.
How influential was your dad with your goaltending?
Oh, he was huge. I mean, obviously I learned everything from him, and I'm pretty lucky. I've got a really, really good relationship with him. I mean, half the time it feels like we're just two best friends joking around, and obviously he raised me into who I am today. So he's helped me build my game, and super thankful for everything he's done for me, because I would not be anywhere close to where I am today without him.
So you're kind of destined to be a goalie. So was there any thought of playing out or not, or were you goalie just from the get-go?
I've been goalie just from the get-go. I mean, my dad was just kind of like, well, you can be whatever you want to be. We're not gonna force you to do anything, but I can help you a ton being a goalie, but I don't have a clue about being a player. And playing mini sticks, I was always in the net, so it just came natural, and never really looked back. I mean, I'll admit from time to time I do wish I was a player, getting to go out there and score some goals and make some hits, but ultimately it's in the nets where I belong.
Hey, you can still score some goals. It happens.
That's true. I've given it a couple goes, so hopefully we'll get one here soon.
So what level did your dad play?
He played at
BC
McGill in
nice.
University, so whatever that league's called now, CIS or something like that. Yeah.
U Sports now, I think.
Or U Sports, yeah.
Did he play
U-Sports.
BCHL or anything like that? Or?
No, he played I think some essentially midget AAA, and then a little stint in junior B, and then ended up at McGill for a cup of coffee. So
nice.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, I see he popped up as Nanaimo's goalie coach there. So he's still dabbling in some coaching.
He was there for a little bit, but he's not anymore. Just kind of, he's got his own job and business that he's running, and he's got to put everything into that, and that's where his passion is. So, it was kind of fun because we've always built it for the Clippers there, and so having him coaching there while we had a billet living in our house was kind of fun. Yeah. But he's mainly just doing his thing with his job now.
So did you guys kind of try to get the goalies to billet the goalies, or were you just get whoever kind of you got?
We originally started with a goalie, and then he ended up getting traded pretty quick out of nowhere, and we got another goalie. But we've had 2 players, I think. One of them I'm still really close friends with to this day. I talk to him every day, and our other one was our last billet was Cooper Black, who was a goalie for the Clippers and now is in the American League with Florida Panthers. So still really close with him as well.
There
and
you go.
So that was my my 15-year-old season, where I played a few games in the BCHL for Cowichan and a few in the Western League for Vancouver. And crazy enough story is he was a 20-year-old playing in Nanaimo, and I ended up getting called up around Halloween, I think, and I played my first game when I was 15, and I won, and the next week, Cowichan was playing Nanaimo, and we ended up playing against each other in Nanaimo. So that was definitely one of the most memorable games of my life, because, I mean, obviously there's no way to confirm it, but I'm guessing that's never happened before. So it was a pretty fun time.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's actually
that's
really
wild.
cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Did you win?
No. Went up 3-0 in the first period, and then somehow magically the game ended 6-3, but we're not going to talk about that.
So living on the island, what was your favorite NHL team growing up?
I'd say on and off it was the Canucks. More just kind of a goalie person myself. I've never been a diehard fan of a single team. I just grew up loving watching as many guys as I can, and a lot of players kind of have one guy they model their game after, but I always wanted to kind of create my own game and my own style, so I just watch everyone and try and pull little bits and pieces and make my own style. But I'd say right now my favorite team is definitely Montreal.
Oh, nice.
Do you have a favorite player, like just one, like, yeah, he was my, even if it was a skater or whoever?
Yeah,
like,
I mean, Carey Price was always kind of my idol. Obviously, incredible goalie, one of the best to ever do it. I couldn't tell you why, but for the longest time when I was growing up, Alex Burrows was my favorite player. Not really any reason in specific, but just good, hard-working player, and I liked him.
just as a kid, right? You just gravitate to somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So he had a different style of game than most guys on the ice, right?
Yeah.
So you say you watch a bunch of different goalies. Like, who do you try to emulate? Like, what kind of goalie are you? What do you call yourself? What would you call yourself?
I mean, if I had to pick one to...
Or two or three.
One or two or three. Definitely kind of the Carey Price style, just the calm, smooth, that kind of a style. And I guess now someone I look up to a lot is Jeremy Swayman and Dustin Wolf. Obviously, Swayman's a real smooth, calm presence back there, and Dustin Wolf is just on another world. His skating and athleticism and control over his body is just ridiculous, and it's unreal to watch. So definitely I think I try to present myself as a calm presence back there and just be nice and smooth. I mean, I think if you can have a goalie that as a team playing in front of a goalie, if you can look back and see he's nice and calm, I think that just brings confidence throughout the whole team. And I obviously want to help my team out in as many ways as I can, not just stopping the puck, but if I can, bring good energy to the room and on the ice, then that's a big win.
So going back to minor hockey, did you have like a favorite memory or a really standout term or something?
Other than playing against your billet brother.
Yeah. Like in minor hockey, like,
In minor
when you're younger.
hockey, that's a good question. I mean, my second year Pee-wee, we ended up making the finals in a league that we definitely should have not made the finals. And I had an unreal little playoff run and beat a team in the semifinals that we'd never beaten before. And that was kind of one of the better memories, I think, is going on that run. And I mean, it's still stuck in my brain today, and I was 11 or 12 years old, so I guess that's got to mean something.
Mm-hmm.
So we see that you played one season of AAA, and the COVID stuff started happening. Like, how did that affect you? What did you do?
Into that next season, kind of.
Yeah, go into the next season. What did you do to stay on top of your game as best as you could?
Yeah, I mean, I remember my second year Bantam was when the COVID started. We played like 3 games, I think, and I played 1.5 or 2.5, I want to say, and I was playing unbelievable. I felt so good, and I was so excited, and then COVID shut everything down for good. And so that was a bit of a shocker, obviously, because I'm assuming I'm going into my Bantam draft year, and at that point I didn't have much of a name for myself. So at the time it was really hard and a little nerve-wracking, but I think in the end it was a bit of a blessing in disguise having that draft moved into December of the next season. And that year playing U18 AAA was one of the biggest roller coasters of a year I've ever had, because my midget team was not very good. And I ended up being lucky enough to go to Cowichan's camp as a 15-year-old, and I had a great camp, and they had me as their firm third guy, and I was practicing with them at least once a week, and got called up on Halloween, played my first game against Vernon, and ended up making 52 saves on 54 shots and winning 4-2 or something like that. So that was crazy, and that led to me getting a few more games in the BCHL before the draft, which was absolutely huge for me. I mean, that was probably the turning point to where I made a bit of a name in that draft. So at the start it was scary, but in the end, bit of a blessing in disguise, I think, and ended up working out.
So heading into the draft, what were your kind of thoughts? Like you said, you hadn't played too much. Have you talked to many teams, or what was kind of your expectation kind of going into the draft day?
It was a wild ride. I mean, I had heard from, funny enough, I think every team other than Regina. So yeah, I mean, that's just one of those fun connections. But yeah, I didn't really know what to expect. I mean, from what I was hearing from teams, I was expecting to go pretty early as far as goalies go. And I mean, I did. I was in the third round, but I was the 7th goalie picked, which is pretty rare. So there was a lot of really good goalies and talent in that year. But ultimately, it's not about where you get picked. I'm just glad I was able to get a chance with a team and do the work from there on out to end up in the league, because it was always my goal growing up to play in the Western League.
For sure. What did you think of going to Vancouver? Was that kind of an arch rival? Were you a Victoria fan or anything like that? And
I mean, I wasn't a big fan of any real team in the Western League, to be honest. I just like seeing goalies out of there, but it was pretty cool because it's so close to home as well. And obviously a pretty well-known organization, and just thankful that they gave me a chance to break into the league there, and nice to play at home.
What was it like playing for Oceanside? Looked like you had a pretty good year.
Oh, that was the most fun I've ever had playing hockey, no doubt. I mean, that was again, the start of that season was a roller coaster, because everything I was hearing going into that year was very certain that I was going to be there at 16 in Vancouver, and ended up changing, and I didn't really have a team for a week, and Oceanside needed a goalie. We really knew nothing about them, and just kind of took a chance and signed there because it's 15 minutes from my house. And it was the best experience I've ever had playing hockey. I mean, the whole team, I've never seen anything like it. It was like every guy on that team was just in one big friend group. I mean, for everyone that's played hockey, you go in the dressing room and there's kind of just a bunch of little individual conversations. Every time in that room, the whole team was in one conversation, and it was the tightest group I've ever been a part of, and I think that led to all the success on the ice. I mean, no matter what happened, every guy was playing for every other guy in that room and not himself, and it was the best feeling ever. And I mean, we were a small town junior B team, and we were getting 1,000 people at our games in a little minor hockey rink, and still some of my best memories. There was a beer garden right behind the home net, and it would just be shoulder to shoulder all the way around right behind the glass, from almost the bench to the penalty box on the other side. And throughout the games, they'd always make a massive red Solo Cup tower on the glass, and if we won, all the guys would run and jump into it and knock it over, and the place would go nuts. And so that was pretty cool. I mean, that's something you only really get in junior B, but it's overall just so thankful that I was able to have that time and develop my game with that group, and those are all memories I'll have forever.
So was it a bit tough not to get, because I was still junior B at that time, right? It hadn't switched to junior A.
Yeah.
So was it tough going down to junior B? Like you were kind of, okay, you didn't make Vancouver, you're going to go to junior A somewhere, but was it a kind of a blessing in disguise that the way that it turned out for you?
Yeah, I think for sure. I mean, Vancouver at the time had Jesper Vikman, who's in the American League right now, and he was obviously a very good goalie in this league. And it was real disappointing for me. It was a bit of a gut punch, especially when, my whole life that was my goal leading up to that point. I'm like, I'm going to be in the Western League at 16, and through that whole summer leading up to the season, it was very much sounding like they were going to keep me, but things happen and plans change. So kind of took a day after I got sent home to be mad about it, but I'm like, whatever, like, it happens. I'm still young, so let's just go put in the work and have fun, and I'll be back there. And that's what I did, and just focused on myself and my game in Oceanside, and had an unbelievable year, and it definitely all worked out well, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
So the next year, you finally make the jump to the Western Hockey League. What was that like? How was it? How was the hockey different? Like,
it was great. Obviously, I mean, that was my goal, so I was super happy to be there. Definitely, the biggest difference are just the level of professionalism. I mean, in terms of working out, even just down to warm-ups, pre-practice, pre-game, video, everything like that. It's just way more professional and more of a job-style thing than just kicking around and playing hockey for fun. So definitely having to get tuned into that, but at the same time not take it too serious, because it wasn't the greatest first year, and I think at times I was just trying too hard to be good and taking everything way too serious. But you got to go through those times to learn. You're never gonna. I'd rather hit those early when I'm young and can learn them young than when I'm 25 having that the first time that I face adversity, because then you're crumpling. So in my Western League career, it's been a lot of ups and downs, and a lot of learning moments that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy, but at the same time, it's built me into who I am today, and built a lot of mental strength that has helped me huge and will continue to.
So heading into that season, what was your welcome to WHL moment? Or maybe it was when you first got called up, but was there one thing that you were like, okay, this is the WHL, this is serious business kind of?
Yeah, I've got a couple. I mean, when I made my first start in Spokane when I was 15, that year I was playing AAA on the island in midget, and every Sunday we'd have a game at 8 a.m. in the junior A rink in our town, and we'd maybe have 8 parents at the game. And so it was like playing hockey in a library. And then I go down into Spokane on a Wednesday, and there was 5,000 people there or something, and I'm like, what is going on here? And I still remember it was maybe 2 minutes into the game, and they dumped a puck in, and I went out to go play it, and I didn't realize someone dropped their stick behind the net. And I skated out, was tracking the puck, and just step on the stick and banana peel and land on my butt. And I was like, all right, well, can only go up from here. So did that, and that was my first one that I really remember. The second one was, it's not the best thing to admit, but I was 15 and young, so it happens. We ended up going down 4-2, I think it was, and in Spokane they've got this big gong for every time they score, and the crowd chants out the numbers, and they scored the fourth, and they were doing the gong, and I caught myself at number 3 doing the chant along with the crowd, and I'm like, wait, hold up, we can't be doing this. So that's definitely one of the not the best looks on me, but at the same time it's just a good memory now.
That's great.
Just something you could laugh about, right?
Yeah, it's whatever. It's just fun. But no, definitely I think the best memory was my first win when I was 15 in Kelowna, playing. Turned out to be a huge game for the team, because I think we had maybe 5 games left, and we were out of the playoffs by a point, and we'd ran out of the rink like 8-2 or something like that the night before in Kelowna, and I got to start the next night and ended up winning 3-2 and played a real good game. And then after that game, we lost like the last 4 games or whatever it was left of the year, and we got into the playoffs by 1 point. So it ended up being that win that got the team into the playoffs. So that's a cool memory that I won't forget.
So partway through last season, you get the trade to Moose Jaw. What was it like going from BC to the freezing cold prairies?
Well, I'll say this one story, and this will pretty much sum it up. The day before I got traded, I went golfing and then went to the beach in shorts and a T-shirt and went for like a 30-minute walk. And then 2 days later, I was in minus 45 and my hair was frozen. So that's definitely a learning curve in itself. But to be honest, I love it out here. I love the real winter rather than just rain for 6 months. So it's cool. No, I'm lucky to be able to see different parts of the country, because obviously it's a completely different world out here than in BC.
Had you come out here with any minor hockey tournaments or anything, or?
No, never been out here. All I'd ever heard was that it's really cold and you don't want to be in the winter, and I'd always said, yes, I do. I want to see what it's like, and everyone called me crazy, but yeah, it's fun. And when I got to Moose Jaw, I ended up getting traded while they were on the road, so I met the team in Lethbridge, and then we played in Calgary, and then we drove home overnight, and I got a text the day of the Calgary game that I played from a random number. It just said, hey, we're your billets. Heard you're getting in at around 6 a.m. We'll be up to let you in. And so play the game, drive home, whatever, hop in a car with 2 guys that I'd met the day before, didn't know what either of their names were. And then they drove me to my billet house, which was like an acreage just outside of town. So there's no street lights, nothing, just dropping me off at a house kind of in the middle of some trees. And get there, the house is completely dark. No lights on, nothing. It's minus 50 outside. And I'm like, well, what do I do in this situation? So I go up, I knock, nothing, text them, go back up, knock, nothing, text them again. Ended up sitting there for like 15 minutes, and then all of a sudden I see the lights flip on, and I get a text like, so sorry, didn't know you'd be getting in so early, because we got in at like 5:30. My billet dad came down, and I shook his hand, and he showed me down to my room in the basement, and just went and slept, and I got into bed. I'm like, wow, this is weird. And woke up at probably 12 or whatever, because went to bed at 6:30 in the morning, and go upstairs into the kitchen, and I see my billet mom doing dishes like facing away from me. And I just kind of stood there for a second quiet, because I'm like, what
do you say?
How do I approach this situation? It'd be a little weird for a woman to turn around and see a random guy standing in her kitchen.
Oh, yeah.
So I just remember kind of coughing and shuffling my feet over so that she'd turn around and see me. And that was funny. Ended up just introducing myself, and then she showed me around the house, and she just kind of briefly mentioned the rink in the backyard like it was nothing. And like so fast that I didn't even really catch on. And then later in the day, I was thinking, I'm like, did she say rink in the backyard? And of course, that's not a thing in BC. Like I've skated outside once. And so I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go look in the backyard. And I go out, and there's a rink like half the size of a normal rink with boards and everything set up. And I was like, what is going on? Like, where am I? And it's just, I didn't even know it was real. But that was probably one of the best memories I had from the trade. Yeah. I was pinching myself, like, what's going on here? But that was very weird at the time, but one of the best memories from that.
Did you get to use the outdoor rink a lot?
Yeah, a decent amount. I mean, I kind of got unlucky. I ended up getting there during a cold snap where it was minus 50 or whatever, and then it was nice and warm, -20 for a week or two, and then hit another cold snap. So I missed probably a month and a half of the outdoor rink, but I still got a couple skates out there, which was a lot of fun.
Do they have kids?
Yeah, two daughters, Claire and Grace. They both play hockey, so it was always fun ripping around on that rink with them.
Awesome. Now you're on the other side of that relationship now, right? You're the kid, or the big kid at the room, and kind of what do you take away from your experience being a host family to being a billet or in a billet house now? Like what because billets, they're the lifeblood of junior hockey, right? And
absolutely.
Minor hockey, right?
I just think back to when I was that young kid, 10 years old or whatever, looking up to my billets and the players on the team like they were the greatest thing in the world. And just any time I got to spend with them, I know how much it meant to me. So I just try and keep that in the back of my mind, even when I'm coming home after a real long, hard practice or one of those days where you just want to rot in bed and do nothing, and knowing that even if I just spend 20, 30 minutes hanging out with my billet sibling, it's going to make a difference to them. So I think that's definitely the biggest thing I take away, and just spending meaningful time around the family.
So we hear you went to Vancouver Canuck development camp. What was that all about? How did that go for you?
That was a wild week. Because at the start of the summer, I wasn't hearing anything, even as the draft was happening, didn't hear anything, and wasn't really expecting to go to a camp or anything. And I ended up having to go into the dentist the week before, or 2 weeks before the camp, and because I was having some real bad jaw pain. Turned out that I had to get my wisdom teeth removed. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to be able to do it when you can get me in, because I'll be back playing hockey. And they go, okay, we'll put you on a waiting list. So ended up getting on the list, getting a call like 2 days later, hey, we got a spot in like 2 days. Come in and get them pulled. I'm like, okay, sounds good. Go in, get them done, expect nothing of it. And then I want to say it was my last day that I wasn't supposed to move at all and just rest. So the third or fourth day. Wake up at like 11 a.m. because the night before figured out that I got dry sockets for the wisdom teeth. So essentially the gums just don't heal over and your jawbone's just sticking out. So that was a lot of fun, as you could imagine. But anyways, wake up at 11 a.m. to my dad yelling at me to come outside and answer the phone. And one, he never yells at me, and two, he never wakes me up when I need to sleep really bad. So I was real confused. Ended up being Ian Clark from the Canucks, and he's like, hey, we'd love to have you out at our camp. Starts in 5 days, I think. I had to be there 4 days. And obviously I was over the moon excited and ended up hanging up the call. I'm like, well, I haven't moved really in 3 weeks because I take a bit of time off at the start of summer and just to relax. And in the midst of that time off, I had to get my wisdom teeth pulled. So hadn't really done anything in 3 weeks to a month. And when you're getting surgery on your mouth, you lose a lot of weight because you can't eat. So I was 15 or 20 pounds lighter and hadn't worked out in 3 weeks or so. So I'm like, well, I got 4 days to get in shape. Let's do this. Called my goalie coach right away, got some ice that night, skated, felt absolutely horrendous. Worked out the next couple days and skated, and it's just like, well,
here goes nothing.
Just go have some fun. Nothing I can do about it now. And ended up, feeling pretty good and having a good camp. Came third in the grouse grind and beat one of the Sedins, so that was a lot of fun. And it's just adds to the story and makes it an even better memory now.
Nice.
So then this season, you get traded again, another mid-season trade, down the road to Regina. What were you thinking there in another trade?
Yeah, another curveball in my career that I wasn't expecting. What happened in Moose Jaw happened, and there's nothing I can do about decisions that are out of my control. But it was funny the night before I was getting traded. I knew I was getting traded, and Tabashniak had just gotten hurt. I was joking with my billet parents. I'm like, hey, imagine if I ended up in Regina. And sure enough, I wake up to a call, hey, you're going to Regina. And I was like, sweet. And I was pumped because
You're staying out here?
yeah, I'm staying out here. And if I'm going to get traded, I'd love to go to the rival just so I can give it back to the old team. And so it was a lot of fun. And obviously Regina's got a huge history here, and you can feel it. Like as soon as I got here, I could tell this was a good organization, and it's ran unbelievably, and we get treated great. So really happy to be here, and obviously getting to play Moose Jaw in my second game and shut him down at home was a real good feeling. So it's been a whirlwind, and nothing I would have expected to happen this year has happened, and never could have guessed that this is what would have gone on this season, but I'm, just going with the flow and happy with where I am and happy to be here.
Nice.
So why do you wear 31? Was that the only option you had, or did you have a choice?
Because I showed up and it was hanging in my locker.
Okay.
Yep.
That seems to be an answer.
It's about the extent of that, but I guess if I could make up a story, it's because Carey Price wore 31 and he was my favorite goalie. So ends up working out.
Do you have a billet brother?
I do. Player or
Player.
Kid?
Yeah, player.
Yeah, Dayton Deschamps.
Dayton?
Yeah.
I just saw him peek in a minute ago.
Peeked in, checking on you.
There you go. Yeah, he's a great guy. We get along really well, and it's a lot of fun. This is the first time I've ever had a billet brother, so it's fun, and he's a really good guy, and happy to be able to hang out with him and bug him and annoy him when I can too. So it's good relationship, and really happy with where I ended up with billets.
Nice.
Do you want to do a billet family shout out?
Yeah, shout out to Twyla and Martin and Noah.
Nice. After hockey, getting off the hockey talk for a bit, what's something you could see yourself doing down the line once your hockey career is over, whenever that is?
This is something I've been bouncing back and forth in my head recently.
It's a tougher question, right, for a younger guy, right?
Yeah, the two main kind of careers I'm looking at right now is one being a police officer and the other one trying to go into reffing, because I've reffed my whole life, and I've had a lot of interest from the people that run that side of things in hockey, and so that would definitely be a route that I'd look at, coming to ref in the Western League, and maybe go pro with it. But hopefully a decision on a career after hockey is still a ways away, so just kind of enjoying where I'm at right now. But those are definitely the two leading candidates of career post-hockey.
Whenever that is.
Yeah.
You never know, right?
Whatever happens, just got to make the most of it.
So what's your current TV show? Or are you a
TV
TV
show?
Are you a TV watcher?
Bit of TV, kind of mixed back and forth between video games and TV. Right now, it's a little dark, but I love the documentaries on criminals and murderers. So right now, digging into the John Wayne Gacy tapes. It's don't want anyone to think I'm a psychopath, but it's I find it interesting, and that's where we're at.
I mean, that leads you into your police thoughts, right? Like into
thinking
that you want to be a police officer, so kind of getting into the minds of the criminals, right?
Yeah, it's just studying for a future career.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What about music? What kind of music are you into?
Country, and more country.
Nice.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite artist or artists?
Oh,
Too many.
are you do that to me?
Are you new school or old school or
bit of everything? Luke Holmes is definitely one of my all-time favorites. Got to see him in concert, and he was unbelievable. But it would be real hard for me to pick one. I love all country artists. Zach Top, a newer guy, but very much an old school style. So anything country I'm into.
So in the summer, what are you doing to get away from the rink? What do you do? You said you golfed a little bit. What else do you like to do?
Yeah, golf a lot. Play baseball as well. A pitcher, so have a lot of fun with that. But just spending time with family and friends however I can. I think quality time with your family is something that a lot of kids forget to soak in and take a part of these days, and it means a ton to me, and I know it's having a good relationship with your family is the most important thing in the world, because I wouldn't be where I am without them. But in terms of that, I love just being outside in any way possible, going on hikes, walks, whatever it is. There's some beautiful landscapes in BC that I'm super lucky to live around, so taking advantage of that, and yeah, just good time with the family.
Are you a cat or dog person?
This is a funny topic.
Or a lizard person like Dante?
Oh, good old Dante. I'm not the biggest animal guy.
Oh, okay.
We have a very large golden retriever who's not the most intelligent, but he is funny. His name's Doug. My parents are going to make fun of me for me giving him a shout out because I'm not the biggest fan of him. But I can tolerate animals. If I could choose to have a pet, it'd probably be a cow. I think having a cow would be cool. But yeah, that's the extent of my animal affection.
Yeah.
Any reason for the name Doug for the dog?
Well, we got him with that name,
okay.
But he's named after the dog from Up.
I was just going to say the
Yeah.
Up dog. Squirrel.
Yeah. Yeah, name definitely suits him because he's intelligence is not his strong suit.
That's good.
What kind of car are you driving these days?
I have a Ford F-150 right now.
There you go. That's a country singer's ride, right?
Yeah, definitely goes along with that whole thing. But yeah, I had a lowered Volkswagen Golf before this that did not take well to the Moose Jaw roads. Bottoming out in a parking lot was a new experience. Having a muddy dirt ice parking lot in Moose Jaw. So ended up getting a F-150 because I'm also going to be running a bit of a landscaping business this summer. So it's just good timing, and now I got a truck, so that's fun.
Yeah. Do you have any superstitions?
Superstitions. Oh. I've always liked to say that my superstition is to not have any, just because I think goalies are weird and a little odd, and I would like to try and fight against that stereotype. I think my family members would probably argue I don't do that most of the time, but I try my best. But I guess one weird one would be a black coffee before the game and then in each intermission. Refuse any cream or sugar in my coffee, but that would be my one thing. And then I fully retape my stick top to bottom before every start. So those would be the two that I can really think of right now. Everything else is pretty much just...
What's up with your pregame routine? Your little pirouette things or whatever, your spins.
Yeah, I wondered if that was going to come up.
You got to show Keith for kind of pointing that out to us.
Keith Hirschmiller's trying to get pictures of you doing it.
I don't really know how that started. I do like a big skating warm-up edge work thing before practice, and I saw a clip of Jeremy Swayman doing it on my dad's website, and I'm like, oh, well, that looks like fun. Then I started doing it, and everyone was like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? And I guess that bit of people thinking I'm weird or just confusing people entertain me, so I started doing it more and more, and then ended up bringing it onto the ice for a warm-up in a game, and I think I played well, and it's just stuck ever since. And then after I do the, jumping pirouette things, I go and I fire a puck over the glass from center ice and then spin and stop on my knees. So definitely those those don't help the goalies are weird stereotype, but I just like to think it's having fun, not being weird.
Just
definitely different.
Staying loose, right? Just
Yeah, exactly. Play hockey for fun. Might as well have fun. We're not here to be serious and grumpy and, hate what we're doing. So if I'm here, I'm gonna have fun.
It's very neat, anyway.
You mentioned your dad. He's into goaltending. What's he doing like for a career? You mentioned off mic that he has a podcast as well. What's kind of his
so
thing?
he runs a website and podcast called In Goal Magazine. It's the podcast is interviews with all types of NHL goalies and goalie coaches and kind of anyone in that field, and then the website is everything from gear reviews to drills to their main thing that gets a lot of attention is called Pro Drills, where they sit down with NHL goalies one-on-one and essentially do video with them, and they describe everything that they're seeing and reading and why they're doing things in plays, which is a real valuable thing, I think, for young goalies to watch and learn from the best guys in the world with exactly what they're seeing and why they're doing what they're doing. So it's it's a pretty cool thing that he does. I've gotten to meet a lot of really cool people and skate with a lot of really good players and had opportunities that most kids never get. So I never take that for granted. It's helped turn me into who I am, and I'll forever be grateful for it. And now him and my mom both work that as their full-time gig, and so they work from home, and I'm lucky enough that they're able to travel from time to time and come see me because they can do the job from wherever.
Nice. That's awesome.
Dante's giving us the cue to wrap it up. So
Yeah.
we have one last question. What does it mean for you to play for the Regina Pats?
It means a lot. Obviously getting traded twice in your career as a goaltender is not the most common thing. But being able to play for such a historic organization is an honor. I mean, like I said, from day one of being here, you can feel that this is a different kind of organization compared to everyone else. We get treated so well, and it's great facilities here, and there's just kind of this energy here that how long this team's been around, and playing for the Crest is amazing, and being able to have the opportunity to be here and play for the team is huge, and I don't take a second for granted. And every time I get to put on the jersey and go out there, I'm going to do everything I can to be the best I can for this team. So it's an honor, and I'm super happy to be here.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks, Matthew.
Yeah.
All right, just wrap this up. It's been a long one. Can't complain too much about a one-on-one weekend. Yeah, the loss was ugly, but it is what it is. And then a tough 2 games coming up next week. So hopefully see a win or maybe 2 out of that. That would be nice, but PA is going to be tough ask, and Kelowna, like I said, is hot. So it's going to be a tough one, and hopefully they're not looking too far ahead at the Christmas break.
Yeah, exactly.
That can sink.
Hopefully they get a few bodies back, some healthy guys back.
At least
That would be huge.
One of these guys back, help out the lineup.
1 or 2 or 3.
Yeah.
I don't think Bridgman's quite ready yet, but
Yeah,
nice
I
to get
say
him
those
back in the
other
lineup
3,
too.
the 3 forwards. Bridgman we knew was going to be longer term. But yeah, we don't not too sure on the status of these 3 forwards. So I mean, you if they're not back these 2 games, you'd kind of assume that they're back after Christmas. So it's another 10 days because they don't play till the 27th. That's Saturday after Christmas, I believe, right? But I don't know where my schedule page went. But Saturday, 27th, in Saskatoon again. So then they're at home Sunday afternoon against Saskatoon. So home and home with Saskatoon. But yeah, anyways, we should get out of here. Got anything else, Kevin?
No, we've rambled long enough.
Yeah, for sure. So, well, anyways, we'll see you Saturday night at the rink. Bring your teddy bears, and hopefully it's a good game. So, talk to you later.
Take her easy.
Jordan Martin will let the time expire. First WHL shutout for Matthew Hutchison. They grab that puck for him. 32 saves for Hutchie as he grabs his first WHL shutout. Close to 80 games in the Western Hockey League to grab that shutout.